Hello and welcome to Circling the Bases, proudly presented by RotoWorld and NBC Sports. I'm DJ Short, and I'm very happy to have two of my favorite baseball folks here with me today. That being my old friend Scott Pianowski from Yahoo, my old podcast partner, not too long ago that you were a regular on this show, and Shelly Verougstraete from right here at RotoWorld. Scott, Shelly, thanks for being here on this special occasion. One of my favorite themed shows that we do. We'll explain in a minute, but thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and props to Shelly. She, along with myself, both advanced to the next phase of the DFS contest for touts. So we'll be, after she smacks me around tonight, she'll probably beat me on Friday night. But we were both still in the final 8, so maybe one of us can get some glory in a week or so.
Yeah,
very nice, very nice. Well, I invited Shelly and Scott here today because we're going to play a special trivia game. We played it in the past. It's called Name That Player. Basically, it's baseball Jeopardy. We have 3 categories, all with different point values, and then we have a final question where you'll have the chance to pick up some extra points. Basically, it's highlighting players throughout the season, various statistical surprises, outliers, maybe some undervalued players, some stuff that maybe might surprise you here. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll get to that in a moment. Before we do, with the NFL season quickly approaching, now is the perfect time to get your RotoWorld Fantasy Football Draft Guide. Get ready for your draft and stay one step ahead of your competition during the preseason with updated player rankings, profiles, projections, mock drafts, and much more. Go to NBCSports.com/draft guide and use our promo code DRAFT2023. That's DRAFT 2023 to save 20% at checkout. Again, that's NBCSports.com/draft guide. A ton of drafts going on right now. Scott, you've been heavy in fantasy football prep. How many leagues are you in this year?
Yeah, enough that I can't count. But they're coming fast and furious, and between the RotoWorld coverage and the great game platform over at Yahoo, we got you covered. Yeah. So wrap up. Don't forget about baseball. Just showing up is a big advantage. We talked about that a lot because the baseball season is very long, but we want you to be dominant in both sports. So again, a RotoWorld magazine, a RotoWorld trip to the website every day. Follow the stuff on social media, and then I hope you play on Yahoo, whether you play snake draft, salary cap draft, DFS. It's all over at Yahoo. So we'd love to have you.
Yes, be a multi-sport dominant athlete. Deion Sanders,
right?
Bo Jackson, Brian Jordan.
Good one. People forget Brian Jordan. Sure.
Who are some of the? There was a couple more, but I'm failing to remember. There was one on the Mets who was not very good.
Tim Tebow.
Wow.
Does he even count?
Nah. I mean, he did play up to the AAA level. He probably did better than I would have ever thought.
Michael Jordan, he got up to AA.
Jordan
rides the bus, sure.
He had a shot. Dave
DeBusschere a million years ago, right? Wasn't he a baseball pitcher, and he was a basketball player for the Mets? Will Chamberlain played a lot of sports.
Right.
He was a great volleyball player.
Yeah. There you are with the
DJ, what's your best sport?
I think basketball, but I haven't played in so long that I would need a little bit of time to get back into it. Rhythm is so important in that game. I'm the smartest about baseball, but not as gifted. I think and even in Little League, it was the same way. I think we talked about this before,
right,
Scott? Like I knew all the rules, I knew where everyone needed to be, but I was not strong or I was pretty fast. But I could not hit the ball very far.
Yeah, I understood the baseball game. It had a limited amount of talent. What about you, Shelly? What about you in sports? Where did you excel?
I did track and softball. I had like all through like Little League, I was the only one who really had the arm for third, so I played third. And then did a lot of like mile and a halfs in track.
Nice. I was an infielder too. I was useless in the outfield. I couldn't really judge a fly ball, but I did play a lot of third base too. I mean, it's great. It's all reaction, right? You have no time to think at third base.
Yeah, exactly.
They just rifle it down to you, and just that's better for me. When you think it's sports, you're generally dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially at third base. That's for sure. So we're gonna have you guys go head to head in this game here. Name that player. So I have 3 categories for you guys, and I sent you the category names, and just so the listeners know the categories. We have batter's box. Those are hitter questions. Caught looking. Those are pitcher questions. And we have full count, which is miscellaneous questions. There's 4 questions in each category, so a total of 12 questions. And I'm going to actually, Shelly is like our defending champion. The last time we played this game, Shelly won. So I will let her go first. Shelly, the board is yours.
All right. I guess I'll go batter's box for 100.
So do you have to read the whole question, or do we just yell it out and we know it, or what do we do here?
Good question. You know what? I'll let you guys just, if you know the answer, shout it out. How about that? Let's do it. Okay.
Great radio. Sure.
Okay. 100 batter's box. Who has hit the hardest hit ball in the majors this season?
Shelly, I don't know. Do I do my name or just name the player?
You're good. Just go ahead and name and play.
Ellie De La Cruz.
No.
Pete Alonso.
Nope. The answer is Matt Olson.
Oh, that was my next guess.
118.6 miles per hour. Shohei Ohtani, second. Stanton, third. No surprise there. Jake Berger, Wilson Contreras, Ryan Jeffers round out the top 6. Some surprises in there. I think
proud to say that before the season, we were pounding the table saying Matt Olson was a great home run prop guy. Now, he and Ohtani are going heads up with that.
I know.
That may not cash, but it's one of those things where you had the right angle, right? It was a great bet, and happy I have a lot of Matt Olson. Matt Olson and Austin Riley are on a lot of my teams, and it seems like they hit homers on the same days a lot, so that's been a lot of fun. Well, the Braves, man, 1 to 9. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of those guys.
It's scary. It's a shame Albies is hurt right now. But still, they're humming along. They started to pull away from the Mets right before I started podcasting with you guys here. So I was okay turning that game off as a Mets fan. All right, Shelly, you still have control of the board. Where would you like to go next?
I'll do the pitcher one. So caught looking for 100.
Caught looking for 100. So which reliever, I used at least 30 innings thrown. So which reliever leads the majors in strikeout percentage?
Ding. Felix Bautista?
You got it. Felix Bautista at 47%. The top 4 are not big surprises here. Bautista, Aroldis Chapman, Josh Hader, Devin Williams, but there are a bunch of surprises after that. And, if you're looking for strikeout advantage down the stretch here in fantasy leagues, like, these guys can help you. Matt Brash is 5th. Mm-hmm. Trevor Richards, Robert Stevenson, who's been really good for the Phillies, Tanner Scott as well. I would not have guessed any of those 4.
A lot of guys I wouldn't have guessed, but I do know that Felix Bautista is also in banked 5x5 value, the most valuable, not just relief pitcher. I think he might be the most valuable pitcher in fantasy right now to this point in a 5x5 standard league.
I was actually at Camden Yards yesterday, and Bautista came in, and he has a really cool entrance when he comes out to the mound. The lights go flicker on and off when he comes out. It's like pretty intimidating, I would think, for a hitter. I can't wait to see that like in the postseason.
I love that team. They have so much talent. They've been obviously importing more talent as the season went along. It's a great park. It's a great baseball city. It just wants to have a good team to be behind, and they're set up even in a division where everybody's great. But look, as a Red Sox fan, it's kind of a bridge year for the Red Sox. But for the Yankees to be down and the Orioles to be up, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, Orioles in first place, Yankees in last. Yep. My sister-in-law said yesterday it's like we're living in the upside down. But she's an Orioles fan, so she's quite all right with it.
Go Orioles, man.
So, Scott, you've got control of the board now. Where would you like to go?
Okay, let's try full count miscellaneous for 100.
Okay. So we know the Braves lead the majors in home runs. They have 239. They have a shot at breaking the all-time record that was set by the Twins in 2019 when they hit 307 home runs. So Braves lead the majors in home runs. Which team is second in home runs?
Ding! I'll try the Dodgers.
You got it. Dodgers it is.
When in doubt,
Mookie.
just guess Dodgers.
That was a guess. Yeah.
Exactly. They've been on fire, right?
Is there any chance that Mookie or Freddie Freeman can nudge Acuña and maybe get a shot in the NL MVP? Or is it basically Acuña as long as he get hurt? In fact, I think Acuña probably should win, but anybody want to stump for Mookie or Freddie or anybody else?
They're having great years. I wonder if they're kind of going to cancel each other out.
They could.
Ultimately.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, that they were both going to cancel each other out. But I mean, if I had to put my money on like one of the two Dodgers, I would think Freddie. Just he's hitting like over 300. He's stealing bases, just driving everyone in.
Yeah, I think he leads the majors in extra base hits too. I could be wrong.
You know, I love about Betts and Freeman too. Have you ever regretted rostering those guys in fantasy? I mean, every year, even like Mookie's had a couple of years that weren't as good as other years, but every year it's like, yeah. I'm old enough to remember when Freddie Freeman versus Eric Hosmer was the thing. Hosmer was a little bit higher touted. No, I don't want to diss on Hosmer, whatever. I know you need a ground ball at second base and Jason Hayward isn't available. You might go for Eric Hosmer, but Freddie Freeman's going to the Hall of Fame. I think Mookie's already in there. So that Dodger team and next year, DJ, we talked about this a lot. Like, where's Ohtani going to be? I think he thinks I already know Southern California. I don't have to move. Maybe I could see him on the Dodger team. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. So Scott, you still have control of the board here.
Sure. I like miscellaneous for 2.
All right. So only one team has not won a game in extra innings this season. Who is that team?
Padres.
You got it. Padres.
Awesome. Yeah, I know they're terrible one-run games. Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Padres are 0-10 in extra innings this year. They're 6-19 in one-run games. That's pretty much all you need to know about the Padres.
And obviously dramatically under kicking their peripherals. They should be a playoff team. They're probably not going to be.
There should be, but they are that close to being a playoff team. Like if you just win a few of those in each category, I mean, some of them overlap, of course, but they could easily be a playoff team.
And I'm sure the other NL contenders are like, yeah, keep the Padres out, because I look at that roster and it scares the heck out of me, right? They can beat anybody. Look, play short series, anybody can beat anybody, but I wouldn't want to play the Padres. I think that they have so much star power on that team. It's just, it's a little bit unlucky. One-run games, it's nothing. We'd like to think teams are clutch and everything, but there's really a lot of that is just variance and flukiness.
Right. I mean, the Phillies proved last year kind of that, like the top-heavy kind of rosters, top of rotation, back end of the bullpen, superstar home run potential in the middle of the lineup. Like that's the blueprint. So they would be dangerous. It seems very unlikely they'll make it at this point, though. Yeah. Shelly, you have control now.
I'll do batter's box for 200.
Okay. So, which qualified hitter has seen the biggest increase in batting average from last season? Biggest increase. Anyone?
Luis Ariz?
No.
It's not a bad guess. I'm going to go with Corey Seager.
Very close. He's second. The answer is Cody Bellinger.
Oh, man, sure. I was thinking about him today. Just, the Dodgers went, got him at a great pillow contract, and he's been terrific. It's just fun. Before the year, I didn't know what to do with Bellinger, what to do with Yelich. Yelich has been, I think, having a very underrated year, and Bellinger's been terrific, man. It's just so cool to see those guys doing their thing again, because I wasn't sure if they'd ever do it again. And now they both look like all-stars again.
Yeah, so, I mean, with what Bellinger has done, do you think that he can get $100 million contract now?
I think so.
He's still young, right? And
right, yeah.
The plate discipline's improved. The swing decisions, he's hitting the ball hard. Batting average is 321. Mm-hmm. It was 210 last year, so up 111 points. Corey Seager is up 98 points from last year, 343. from 245 last year. We all expected that to bounce back, especially with the shift restrictions. He was like one of the most expected players to see some improvement. You would expect an improvement from Seager anyway. Not a 245 type of hitter.
Right. Yeah. It's all we talked about before the season, right? The new rules are going to help Corey Seager. And then I would parenthetically say, I think Kyle Schwarber could hit 245 in the new rules. Spoiler, Kyle Schwarber's not going to hit 245 or 225 or 205 or probably not even 195.
Yeah.
It's breaking.
He might hit 40 home runs though.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate the home runs, but he's killing my average. I'm just, I'll just look at that one every day and think, thank you, Kyle.
Yes. So, Shelly, you still have the board. Where would you like to go?
I will go with full count for 300.
Full count for 300. Okay. Who leads the American League in multi-hit games this season? And you can guess, remember. You're not going to lose any points by guessing.
Ding. I'm just going to. Marcus Semien came to mind. He's a leadoff hitter. Marcus Semien.
Nope. It's like obvious, but not obvious, I guess.
Ohtani?
Nope. The answer is Julio Rodriguez. I think he set that record in just in the past few days, I think.
Right. Jesus.
With everything he's been doing. He has 44 multi-hit games. This is all stats going into the day.
I thought it was probably somebody who hit leadoff or second, The extra at-bats would help. That's why I went with Semien, even though he doesn't have a great average.
Yeah. Bo Bichette, Yandy Diaz is right there. Masataka Yoshida.
Yandy Diaz is having such an underrated season. I was looking at some of the leaderboards today. It probably won't help me at all, but I just took a glance at some things, and I was shocked that Yandy Diaz, he's hitting 328. He's having much better. Maybe it's just Tampa Bay, right? I mean, Tampa Bay, the team, the blueprint, a lot of times is the star, not the individual player. And I guess Yandy Diaz kind of fits their ethos.
Right, exactly. So I think, going into the All-Star break, Julio Rodriguez, I think you could say he was a disappointment.
Sure.
But at this point, he's padded his numbers in a big way just over the past few days where his season looks pretty darn good. I think a few weeks ago, there's probably questions like, should he be an early first round type of player in 2024? But I think at this point, he's sort of silenced those doubters.
I think he's the top half of the first round at this point.
Yeah,
I agree. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny that Bobby Witt Jr. and Julio Rodriguez season that kind of mirrors each other. And I think they both went like 20-20 or 20-30 in the first two seasons. It's pretty remarkable.
That's a great call. Yeah, Bobby Witt, I thought he was a little bit of a fade for me. I'm like, well, I'm going to take Mookie Betts, or I'm going to wait and take Semien. I felt pretty good about that. I even thought Randy Rosarena had the same projection. Why not take him over Bobby Witt? And over the last 6 weeks, Bobby Witt, I feel like he has a home run and stolen base every day, it feels like. There's no reason to look at the whole Royals box score. You just need to look at like the first 3 or 4 names. You say, oh, okay, Witt went 2 for 4 with a homer in a bag. We're done here.
Yeah, and I think even in the first half, while Witt's numbers on the surface were not that great, the expected numbers showed that he deserved a lot better than the results he was getting. So if you stuck with him, you're feeling pretty good now.
Still really young too. What is he, 22, 23? I mean, he's, the best is yet to come for that guy. I mean, he might go 40, 60 some year.
He might for sure. So I still think, Shelly, you have control. And just to bring people up to date on our score right now, Scott has 200, Shelly has 100.
I'll go caught looking for 200.
Caught looking for 200. Okay. One pitcher has thrown 2 shutouts this season to lead the majors. Name that pitcher.
Ding. Framber Valdez.
You got it. Framber Valdez.
There's only one reason why I got that is because I'm in a league that is a hybrid scoring format, and shutouts are one of the categories. And you never get shutouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in first place with 4 shutouts. So you said that. And I'm thinking, well, I have 4 shutouts. Who's on that staff? Oh, Framber. And we threw a no-hitter, which last I checked, most no-hitters are usually shutouts. So I'm thinking, you know what? He might have had it. He probably had a second one. That's why I'm sitting on 4 shutouts. So Shout out to my friends in the Michigan league that I'm in. We're having a great race too. It's a 3-team race, and I need Framber. But I got lucky that I don't know how many people play in leagues with shutouts, but we're in one in Michigan.
That is interesting. Not many of those.
Not many of those.
There's 13 different pitchers who've thrown shutouts this season. There were only 6 pitchers who threw shutouts last year, which is like insane to think about.
Yeah, I was at the Detroit Tigers no-hitter, and Matt Manning didn't even know he had a no-hitter. They took him out after like 6 innings or whatever, and he'd been in trouble in the first inning. And like, oh, well, you're mad they took you out with a no-hitter? He's like, I didn't realize it. That's how different baseball is.
It's the 5th inning, so
yeah. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, we've seen 4 no-hitters this season, and there was the Tigers one that was the combined. But yeah, it does feel like pitching is, you know what? It's kind of been a mixed bag. I think it is a little top-heavy pitcher-wise, but we've seen some dominant performances too. So, Scott, you have the board now, and it scores 300 for Scott, 100 for Shelly.
Okay, let's do caught looking for 3.
Caught looking for 300. Okay. Which qualified starting pitcher has the lowest ERA during the second half? This is a surprise.
Ding. I'm going to guess Freddie Peralta.
Nope.
I know he's been really good the last month. I wasn't sure if it was translated in the second half.
Shelly?
You say Kikuchi?
You got it.
Wow. Nice pull.
Very good. So Kikuchi has a 1.82 ERA over 7 starts during the second half. The big key for him, if you remember the first half, a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
Second half, has not allowed a single home run in 39 2/3 innings. Control's been very good, 42 strikeouts against 9 walks. Another surprise who is second on this list, JP France.
Of course.
Has a 1.94 ERA over 6 starts and 1 relief appearance. So Kikuchi and France, guys who are widely available on the waiver wire, a few weeks ago. So if you had 1 or 2 of these guys, they certainly helped you along the way.
Remember all the preseason talk, right? Toronto, the park, it's going to be, great new dimensions for hitters. And it's actually been a pitcher park all season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
Exactly. So Shelly, you've gotten control back of the board. It's a close game here. 300 for Scott, 200 for you.
I'll go full count for 400.
Full count for 400. Okay. 2 qualified hitters have more walks than strikeouts this season. Name those 2 hitters.
Ding.
Go for it.
Juan Soto's going to be one of them, right?
Nope.
Okay. Juan Soto does not have to be one of them.
He's not one of them.
Well, no, but Shelly is a dog named Soto, right? So I figured you'd throw in the token Juan Soto question.
Well, now we know
maybe it's coming later. Maybe it's coming in Final Jeopardy. I don't know.
What do you think, Shelly? You want to guess?
I have no idea. Freddie Freeman?
Nope.
Good guess.
Luis Arraez and Jose Ramirez. Kind of names you'd expect to.
What a strange year for Jose Ramirez, right? Where do we draft him next year?
Oh.
I don't want to get tied to that lineup. It's just so pedestrian, and I feel like your first pick. Not only should you be excited about the player, and Jose Ramirez is obviously a guy, another slow starter who's picked it up, but much like in fantasy football, your first round pick, you want to be tied to an offense that excites you. Fantasy baseball is the same way. Oh, I want a guy in the Dodgers. I want a guy in the Astros. I want a guy in the Braves, for crying out loud. I don't want a guy in the Guardians.
Yeah. No, it's a fair point.
Yeah, and you don't trust their front office to go out and go get somebody, and their farm system is pretty much like the same type of guy, and unless you go like much further down in like low A or something like that. So it's going to be kind of ho-hum for the next, season and a half or so.
Joe Sheehan made an interesting prediction, kind of an offhand prediction in his recent newsletter, one of his recent newsletters. He thinks the Tigers will be the team to beat next year. A lot of up-and-coming talent. Riley Green I'm in love with, by the way. And I can see that. I like the manager. We'll see if Torkelson can get it going. They've had a little bit bad luck with the pitching, but that's a division that's ripe to be taken. As Shelly mentioned, Cleveland's sometimes their strategy or what they're doing doesn't seem to make sense. Minnesota's a good team, but by no means a juggernaut. Kansas City, I don't think is anywhere close. The White Sox just fired everybody. Another team I was completely wrong on the last couple of years. So why not Detroit in 2024? Sheehan said it first. I'm saying second.
Well, it appears that Terry Francona might retire after the season. That seems to be the buzz over the past 24 hours. So they could be headed in a new direction.
Is he a Hall of Famer? Is Terry Francona a Hall of Famer, you think?
I think he has to be.
Yeah, I think so too. For sure.
Yeah. Always a good quote. It's Terry Francona for sure. So Shelly, you still have control of the board. We have a couple of questions left here before our final question.
Okay. I will go batter's box for 300.
Okay. Batter's box for 300. Who leads the majors in stolen bases during the second half of the season?
Ding, ding, ding. Hai-Sung Kim.
Nope.
I looked at this recently. Who led the league last month, and it was somebody who surprised me, and I can't think of him for the. Well, I don't think Witt's right, but I'm going to guess Bobby Witt.
It is C.J. Abrams.
There you go. It was Abrams. I saw that. Ugh. Yeah, who's percolated to the top of that lineup.
Yep.
Lane Thomas was looking for a running mate. Actually, that lineup has been kind of sneaky productive,
Been
right?
good.
I mean, Candelario was good before they traded him, and that lineup goes about 4 or 5 deep. It's been better. It was Lane Thomas and nobody for a long time, it felt like, but they've been plucky. They've been plucky Nationals. And Abrams, of course, they need to show some returns for that Soto trade, and Abrams has taken a major step forward.
Yeah, what do you think of Abrams, Shelly?
I mean, I've really liked what he's done. Like, he was, hitting at the bottom of the lineup and not doing much. And then it just seemed like the team just totally believed in him, put him at the top, and he just has all the confidence. I mean, when you watch him, he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to steal the space. He's making great throws at shortstop. He's just becoming a much more complete player.
And he's super young too. We know.
Yeah. I'm just going to say that this is his age 22 season. Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean,
highly touted as a prospect. It seemed like a lot of people gave up on him after his initial, first taste of the majors here. So, progress isn't always a straight line with prospects, and maybe we'll see Abrams struggle again. But right now, looks like he's putting it together. So Abrams has 19 stolen bases during the second half so far. Acuña follows him. Nico Horner, Corbin Carroll, Ha-Sung Kim is right there too. So there is your top 5. Shelly, you still have control here. Scott is up 300. You have 200. We have 2 questions left before our final.
All right. I'll go caught looking for 400.
Caught looking 400. Gerrit Cole, probably the AL Cy Young Award favorite, is tied for the Major League lead with 18 quality starts. Who is he tied with?
Ding. How about Zach Gallen?
Very close, but no. Someone who is close to him in competition for that award.
Zach Wheeler?
Nope. It is Logan Webb.
Right. I think he leads the league in the majors in innings too, if I'm not mistaken.
He does. He leads the majors in innings pitched so far. 3.36 ERA over 26 starts. And I think maybe the best case as an alternative for Zach Gallen for the Cy Young Award. Of course, there's still some games left to be played here. Spencer Strider striking out everyone. The ERA is probably a little bit high. Blake Snell has the lowest ERA in the NL, but
lousy whip.
Yeah,
relatively speaking, right? Yeah.
Ton of walks.
Speaking of Cole, by the way, I like to mention this a lot. I know it's longtime listeners will have already heard this, but I like to talk about how Adam Wainwright has the most Cy Young shares of somebody who's never won the Cy Young Award. If Cole somehow competes for this award and doesn't win it, he actually might pass Wainwright. So Cole's been the bridesmaid many times, second, third, whatever. And he also screwed me up on Immaculate Grid today. I needed a 200 strikeout player from the Pirates, and I'm like, okay, Blyleven was there for a minute. Candelaria. I don't think Doug Drabeck was really a strikeout pitcher. I'm like, I know Cole was one of those. The theme with Cole back then was like, oh, everybody leaves Pittsburgh and gets better. Cole got better, and Groundchuck got better. Just a bunch of guys left there. Glasnow got better, right? So I talked myself out of Cole, and it was a Red Sox grid. So I had all these great answers for the Red Sox. I was going to get a really low score, but you got to get them all right. I went with Y11, which was wrong.
That's happened to me too. And then I'm like, I just like turn it off.
I don't know how much fun is Immaculate Grid and how much frustration is Immaculate. I think it's like 70% or 65% fun and like a third frustration.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is super fun. I definitely
if you haven't played it.
Yeah. If you haven't played it, you absolutely should. So last question, I'll just open it up to the board for you guys. So we have batter's box for 400. So a big one here. Freddie Freeman leads the majors with 45 doubles this season. Which recently traded corner infielder?
Candelario.
He's second. Yeah, you got it. Candelario, 37 doubles.
Who led the league in doubles a couple of years ago too.
He did. And I projected maybe that would mean more home runs. Hasn't really happened, but he's had a great year. Matt Chapman, Nathaniel Lowe have 35 doubles. Christian Walker, Jaron Duran have they're tied at 34. But Candelario, kind of surprising there. So Scott has 700. Shelly has 200. We're going into our final question here, and Shelly, you still have a chance to win this game because I'm going to read this question, and I want you guys to write down your answers. You don't have to risk any of your points. I just want you to name some players here. This game is called Name That Player, after all. So, ready?
Sure.
Okay. Using Yahoo eligibility, 8 second base eligible players have hit at least 20 home runs this season. How many of those 8 players can you name? Again, using Yahoo eligibility, 8 second base eligible players have hit at least 20 home runs this season. So name as many as you can. And while you're doing that, I'm going to read a couple of promos here. There's no better way to start your day than watching one of the biggest stars in baseball in America's biggest city, Shohei Ohtani and his Angels teammates take on the Mets at Citi Field this Sunday on MLB Leadoff. Catch the action live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, exclusively on Peacock. Also, remember to subscribe to Circling the Bases wherever you get your podcasts. You can actually find all your favorite NBC Sports shows on Amazon Music. Just head to amazon.com/NBC Sports. Also, do yourself a favor. Check out the Roto-World Football Show, fantasy football draft season in full swing. Lots of good stuff going on that show right now. So amazon.com/NBC Sports. Check out all of our great podcast offerings. All right, Shelly, Scott, how you doing?
Not as well as I should be.
No, I
read some more promos, please. Read some
exactly.
More promos.
You know, I'll give some more love to our draft guide. How about that? It's fantasy football draft season.
Give a long love to it.
Fantasy football draft season. Like I was just saying, the Roto-World Football Show is lovely. And you should also get your Roto-World Fantasy Football Draft Guide. Get ready for your draft. Stay one step ahead of your league during the preseason. We have updated player rankings, profiles, projections, mock drafts, so many mock drafts in all different formats, much more. Go to NBCsports.com/draft guide. Use our promo code here, draft 2023, to save 20% off at checkout. 2 really, really good, I think, essential articles going live in our draft guide next week. Monday and Friday, 2 huge articles right in the prime of draft season. So definitely recommend getting it now so you get that special content exclusively in our draft guide. All right, I've given you guys enough time. So so I asked you to write down your answers here. Mm-hmm. So there's 8 of them. So this could really swing the game. I'm going to give you 100 points each for each name that you've mentioned, or each name you've written down. That's correct. All right. Let's see what you got. Let's see it. Hold it up. So you have, okay. Scott has Betts. I see Betts there.
Yeah.
Who else do you have, Scott?
I have Betts, Simeon, Albies, Altuve, and Lowe. I only wrote down 5 guys, which is embarrassing.
Okay, say it again.
Betts, Simeon, Albies, Altuve, and Lowe.
You got 2.
Ugh, terrible.
Okay,
Horrendous.
Shelly.
Awful.
Yeah, I got 4. He said 5. I got 4. I had Mookie, Ozzy, Albies, Altuve, and Simeon.
Okay, you got 2 as well. So 400, 900. So our final score is 900 for Scott, 400 for Shelly. The 8 second base eligible players who had 20 home runs: Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, Ozzy Albies, Isaac Paredes, Nolan Gorman, Ryan McMahon, Justin Turner, Ketel Marte.
It's a great question. Actually, when you listed the names off, I don't feel as bad.
Yeah.
Paredes is having a very hidden season. Again, Tampa Bay's kind of like that. Muncy, you just forget about him being second base eligible. Turner, same way. It's been a really nice ad for the Red Sox. So I feel better. No, if I'm going to tie Shelly, I don't feel bad either. But at first I thought, okay, she's going to get like 6 of them. I'm going to feel horrible. Now I feel a lot better.
Well, I was hoping for the drama of the game that would occur, but you can't predict baseball, and you cannot predict name that player. But
no, you can't.
Thank you guys so much for joining me on this show today. Scott, now you're going to need to defend your crown at some point.
For sure.
Maybe we'll do it during the off season or draft season. But either way, you'll be back soon enough, hopefully.
Well, thanks for having us. This was a lot of fun. It's always great to talk baseball with both of you. So, much love to Roto World. Go wrap up those championships. I'll tell you, your opponents are going to check out, man. They're going to start playing fantasy football. They're going to go back to college, whatever. They're going to be doing the stuff that they do. So just keep grinding, keep doing those fab bids. And even if, whatever, you're in 7th place, you know what? You might come in 4th. Just run the course. Finish out the game.
Exactly. Thanks, Shelly, for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Also, follow us on Twitter if you don't already, or X, or whatever it's called this week. Maybe it's something different tomorrow. We'll see.
Right.
I'm at DJ Short. Shelly is at ShellyV_643. Scott is at Scott_Pianowski. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.